I'm gonna take this guy down. I still believe, I still want this guy. He is going away. We are back, it's okay. And there's Navi again. We're back in the game. I believe. I'm gonna take this guy down. I went onto Mr. Jesus stream and I said thank you in a donation. And people went crazy. I mean, they went nuts. There was so many people saying, "Oh my God, you're the person we rated. You were very entertaining. Thank you so much." And I couldn't believe it. People were sitting there thanking me for streaming. And sure, I've experienced that before, but not from so many people at the same time. I was introduced by them to a website known as VKontact, which is essentially Russian Facebook. So I looked on their website and I was like, wow, this is incredible. And before I knew it, they had a fan group set up for me with dozens upon dozens of pieces of fan art. And it was unbelievable to see how much had been done in a short period of time. But one thing in particular that stood out was the fact that my Chester hat and the squid hat I had on at the time from Splatoon were in everything. And it really kind of stood out for them. And of course, some of the fan art included the explosions. Others included, the way I reacted to things. It was unbelievable to see. And I wanted to make sure that I gave them the opportunity to understand how grateful I was. So I decided I'm going to create a VK. And several individuals instructed me on how everything worked. They walked me through the process. And I told Mr. Jesus about it. And within 10 minutes, I had 1,000 followers. And it was crazy. It was quickly becoming my biggest social media almost instantaneously. And people just wanted to know more. So I started to look at all the different pieces of fan art that they had made in what seemed like 10 minutes, but in reality was about 48 hours. And there was just so much and so many messages saying, "You're amazing. You're the first American I've ever talked to." Over the course of the next year, I responded to 25,000 individual messages. And by individual messages, I mean individuals. Some of those folks I had conversations with for extended periods of time. Some of them just wanted to say hey and thank you. Some of them just wanted to say hi, privyet. And most of the time today, up until this day, that's what they want. They want to say hi, how are you doing? Privyet, как дела? And they want to see what's going on. They want to see what time it is. They want to see what you're up to. They want to say your streams are cool. And they want to say, Dobav, add me to friends. And on VK, a normal page can only have 10,000 friends at any given time. So sometimes that's a little difficult. But I try my best. My current audience, American and European and everything else, their reaction to this entire thing was rather crazy as well, because they were all for it. And that to me was awesome. I was in a group called the Fallout Zone at a time, and I actually ran it. And it was a group of streamers that I really liked. And most of them were very, very small streamers that I hoped would one day find success. And I'm happy to report back that today I can name 8 of them off the top of my head that are partnered now. But one of the things that led to the Fallout Zone coming to an end was I didn't spend enough time on it because I was spending a lot of time trying to adapt to myself to this new audience that I had. And I was using this audience to host and rate other people as well. But I had gotten some feedback from one of the people in the Fallout Zone that said, I can't be rated by you anymore because there's too many people and they're speaking Russian. Now, let's not read too deeply into this. I don't think anybody was trying to be offensive. But people want to have control over their chat. They want to be able to know what's going on. And while it's just easy enough to right-click on your web browser with Google Chrome and go to Google Translate, it's still something that's not perfect. And sometimes translations are very wrong.
And that speed of that chat when you have 1,000 people or more in there, it's something else. And a lot of people just want the small channel. And it made me kind of step back and say, whoa, my identity is changing very fast. And I need to make sure that I'm surrounding myself in an atmosphere that's a little softer, because there's a lot of people here who are interacting for the first time. Russians and Americans very, very infrequently talk. I mean, we have a history of, you know, Cold War syndrome, if you will. My parents, and even me to some extent, went through, you know, this era of the Russians and the Americans don't like each other. And in a lot of cases, that's all we know. You know, the fact that our alphabets and languages are very, very different doesn't help. But I wanted to find something more than that. I wanted to find something bigger. And I knew I could, because we're all on the internet. And even if we weren't, human beings are pursuing happiness. And because we're on the internet, a lot of times we're finding common ground when we don't even realize it. And I knew I could find some. And I knew I was going to be working at this for probably a decade before it became anything big. And it became big long before a decade, but we're still building it to this day.
I'm gonna take this guy down. I still believe, I still want this guy. He is going away. We are back, it's okay. And there's Navi again. We're back in the game. I believe. I'm gonna take this guy down. I still believe, I still want this guy. He is going away. We are back, it's okay. And there's Navi again.